Maybe it's just me they don't like. I don't know. Maybe there's some principle out there that I haven't discerned, that I haven't figured out. You hear some of them. They're like, sue him, impeach him. Really?
That was President Obama 2 weeks ago, leading off what has now become a drumbeat of impeachment talk from the Democrats. Over the weekend, we heard from First Lady Michelle Obama, also White House advisor Dan Pfeiffer, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest, and House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, all talking up the idea that Republicans may try to impeach President Obama. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee even sent out this email on Friday. It reads, quote, "We are now on full red alert at Democratic headquarters. We are scrambling to defend the president in every way we can at this critical moment." End quote. All that comes after a recent Fox poll shows that 61% of voters oppose impeaching President Obama. Are those two things connected? And it comes as a growing number of media outlets suggest Republicans have a very good chance to take the Senate come November. Congressman Steve Scalise said this on Sunday about the apparent new Democratic message.
This might be the first White House in history that's trying to start the narrative of impeaching their own president.
Chris Stirewalt is our Fox News digital politics editor. He joins me now. Chris, does the congressman have a point?
I don't know. When you say red alert and you put it in all caps, it must be serious, right? When you
we do that. We do the
caps,
alert. They stole that from us. Alert!
Yeah, that's your thing. I don't know what they're doing. The deal here is, if you want to know how lame a lame duck is, when you are trolling the other party in hopes that they will impeach you or begin impeachment proceedings so that you can raise money, and if the only way that you can really get Democrats scared enough to close the lingering and pronounced enthusiasm gap between the two parties for midterms is to say that the president will be removed from office if the Republicans take control of the Senate, which is not true, or it is unfathomable anyway, that if that's all you've got, you ain't got a lot.
But what do you make of it? Because the president there was mocking it. You know, like, are these people ridiculous? Right. Really? You know, impeach me? But the others who have come out over the weekend seem to be raising it more like, hey, they're really getting ready to do this, folks. You know, watch it.
Well, they've got, for the scare tactic to work, you actually have to, the way the Democrats raise money best is in relatively small increments. I call them iTunes donations, relatively small increments, impulse buys, and they're really good at sort of pushing the limbic systems of their voters to say, no, the urgent threat is coming. They're going to come and impeach him. They're going to do this. They're going to show Sarah Palin's picture. They're going to, and basically it's hit that Skinner bar to keep that response going. And they're really good at that, and it works, and that's how they raise money. Unfortunately, what it causes is a more toxic space. Yes, we can all lament that. But the other thing it causes is a super marginalized president. If you are coming from a point of view that says, I'm just trying to hold on here so that they do not pry me out of office, so I am not thrown out of office, that's not a person who can deal with much in Washington. And given what this guy's got going on overseas right now, my goodness, you'd think he'd be trying to telegraph strength, not that he's going to get yanked out of office.
What's the story? Because some Republicans have been talking about the I word. And in particular, you know, conservative pundits have been writing books about it and writing articles about it, and in some circles pushing for it. I've had many pundits come on and say, look, these Republicans who are filing lawsuits and so on, they're just sissies. If they really are upset with the president, they should impeach him. Don't waste time trying to sue him, impeach him. So there have been some Republicans, some non-crazy, non-lunatic Republicans who say, if you're really upset with him, and by the way, 1 in 5 Democrats reportedly favors impeachment, according to one of the latest polls, you know, the word has been bandied about.
Oh, and we'll continue to bandy, because it doesn't just work for Democrats, it works for Republicans on fundraising. It works for the group of Republicans who believe strongly in impeachment, will give, and if it becomes a litmus test issue, just as it did for very liberal Democrats with George W. Bush in his second term, if it becomes a litmus test for how serious are you in your opposition, if that becomes the thing, then there's gold in them there hills when it comes to fundraising and trying to get your preferred candidate in office. But when the GOP primary season closes up here in the next few weeks, I would say that this issue will probably be drained of a lot of its venom.
It feels, you know, rather cynical.
Oh, just a little little cynical, maybe, to talk about your own impeachment in order to try to save the United States Senate majority. And I am reminded, and I'm sure you are too, about the the birth certificate mugs. Remember when Donald Trump made the president show his birth certificate, and then they fundraised off of it, and they sold mugs, and they talked about it all the time. And it's, you know, it's grody, but politics is a pretty grody business, I guess.
You want a mug? I got a mug for you. This is this is the mug that I use out here. Here you go. Here's to you, Mr. Stirewalt.
USA. USA.
Tell you at the end of the show what's in here. It's just right now, it's just between me and James.